They say you never truly know someone until betrayal sits beside you at the dinner table, smiling like nothing's wrong. For the longest time, I believed I had it all. A devoted husband, a tight-knit family, and a life that, on the surface, looked like something out of a well-filtered Instagram post. My name is Camille, and this is the story of how my perfect life unraveled, thread by thread, thanks to the two people I trusted the most. Derek, my husband of 5 years, had a smile that could disarm a room. People gravitated toward him effortlessly. He was charming without trying, thoughtful in small but unforgettable ways. Every anniversary, he wrote me a letter. Every weekend, he made breakfast while humming off-key to 90s R&B. He remembered the little things like how I took my coffee or which candle scent helped me sleep. I thought he was the anchor to my world. Then there was Vanessa. Vanessa was the sister-in-law everyone wished for. She was married to my brother, Marcus, and quickly became more like a sister than just a relative by law. We shared book recommendations, spent lazy Sundays binging shows, and laughed over burnt cookies we'd attempt baking together. She was kind, a little clumsy, and always up for wine and girl talk. When she announced she was pregnant, I was genuinely overjoyed. "I'm gonna need your help planning the baby shower, Cam," she beamed, holding up a tiny pair of baby booties like they were diamonds. "Of course," I smiled, hugging her. "We're going to make it beautiful." And we did. Or at least I did. From handmade centerpieces to a pastel-themed dessert bar, I poured myself into every detail. It wasn't just about making her day special. I needed the distraction. Lately, something between Derek and me had shifted. At first, it was subtle. He started coming home later, blaming work. When I asked what was wrong, he'd shrug it off with a tired smile and a kiss on my forehead. "Just tired, babe. That's all." But it was more than that. He stopped looking at me the same way. Conversations felt forced, like we were reading from a script we both forgot how to improvise. I chalked it up to stress. People go through seasons, right? Still, something gnawed at me. Renee, my best friend since college, noticed it too. She'd been around us enough to catch what others might miss. "You good, Cam?" she asked one afternoon, sipping her iced latte as we browsed baby shower invitations. "Yeah, just tired." I echoed Derek's line without thinking. Renee tilted her head. "You sure? Something's off." With him. He didn't even ask about the shower when we saw him last night. I shrugged. He's probably overwhelmed. Promotion talks at work and all. She didn't push, but her silence said enough. The final straw came on a Tuesday. A rainy, unassuming Tuesday. I had gone to grab Derek's car to get it washed. He'd left it blocking mine in the driveway. As I moved the seat forward, something slid from beneath it. A white bottle. Prenatal vitamins. I stared at it, my fingers suddenly cold. My first thought was, maybe Vanessa dropped them here? Maybe they fell out of her bag during that ride to the store last week. That made sense. That had to be it. But as I turned the bottle over in my hand, I noticed the label was partially torn, and there was no pharmacy tag. It didn't look like the one I'd seen in Vanessa's bathroom just a week ago. This one was newer. My heart thundered. I called Vanessa immediately. "Hey, did you leave your vitamins in Derek's car?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. There was a pause. Too long. "Oh, maybe?" "Yeah, probably." I was super scatterbrained that day. Her answer was wrapped in too much hesitation. My instincts, dulled by years of trust, suddenly sparked awake. "Right," I said. "Just wanted to check." I hung up and stared at the bottle again. My hands were shaking. The air felt heavier. Something wasn't adding up. It was just a bottle of vitamins, but it felt like I had just uncovered the tip of something deeper, darker. Maybe Renee was right. Maybe I was just too close to see it clearly. I put the bottle in my purse, drove the car to the wash, and forced a smile at the attendant. But inside, my thoughts screamed. What was I missing? Why did that bottle feel like a secret waiting to explode? Whatever it was, I would find out. I just didn't know yet that the truth would tear everything apart. The bottle of prenatal vitamins became my obsession. I kept it tucked in the back of my closet, as if hiding it would slow the avalanche it threatened to unleash. but the questions it raised refused to stay buried. They multiplied in my head, pulling me into sleepless nights and long, silent car rides. Derek's every move became suspicious, and Vanessa's every word felt rehearsed. A few days later, I decided to check Derek's car again, this time with purpose. I waited until he was at the gym and rummaged through the glove compartment, center console, even beneath the floor mats. Nothing too damning. Just gum wrappers, crumpled receipts, and a phone charger. Until I found a small, folded paper under the driver's seat. A printed invoice from a boutique hotel downtown. 1 room, 1 night, paid in full. The date aligned with the day he told me he was in meetings late. I stood in the driveway, staring at the paper like it was a foreign language. My stomach twisted. That night, I confronted him, casually. "How was that long meeting last week?" I asked over dinner, voice light, eyes fixed on my fork. He didn't flinch. "Oh, exhausting. Didn't get home until almost midnight, remember?" "I do," I replied, forcing a smile. "You smelled like hotel soap." He chuckled.
Huh.
Must have been the office air freshener or something.
Lie. So smooth it scared me.
I needed help. I called Renee the next morning. "I don't want to jump to conclusions," I said, pacing my bedroom. "But something's wrong, Ren. Really wrong." "You're not paranoid," she said firmly. "You're connecting dots. Trust your gut." We devised a plan. Nothing dramatic, yet. I'd keep observing, keep collecting pieces. If there was a truth to uncover, we'd expose it. I started watching Derek's phone habits. He'd become guarded, always angling the screen away from me, never leaving it unattended. The password changed. His business dinners increased. The distance between us, once a crack, was now a canyon. Vanessa, meanwhile, was glowing. But not just in the expected mother way. She was jumpy around me. Her laughter felt forced, her texts brief. And she avoided one-on-one time with me altogether. The tipping point came when I accidentally left my laptop open while Derek was logged into his email. He went to shower and curiosity got the better of me. I opened a folder labeled Work Docs, assuming I'd find meeting agendas. Instead, I found a series of attachments scanned medical forms. One of them made my blood run cold. Paternity test results. Positive match. Derek James Carter, 99.98% probability of paternity. The mother's name? Vanessa Elise Parker. I couldn't breathe. The room felt too small, the air too sharp. I sat there, paralyzed, as the weight of betrayal settled over me like wet concrete. He didn't just cheat. He cheated with her. She wasn't just my sister-in-law. She was family.
She held my secrets.
I had braided her hair on her wedding day. I had cried happy tears when she told me she was pregnant. And it wasn't even my brother's baby. It was my husband's. I wanted to scream, throw things, demand answers. But what would that solve? A confrontation would only give them room to lie again.
No.
I needed them cornered, where truth had no escape. I stared at the screen, tears sliding silently down my face. That's when the idea came to me, not born of revenge, but of clarity. The baby shower. I'd still go through with it. The decorations. The food.
The speech.
But this time, it wouldn't just be a celebration. It would be a reckoning. I backed up the email, printed the documents, and saved them on a USB drive tucked safely into my jewelry box. I crafted my plan with precision, every step a quiet declaration. You don't get to shatter my life and walk away clean. Over the next few days, I acted normal.
Polite.
Helpful. I picked out balloons and gift bags with the same hands that clutched evidence of their betrayal. I laughed at Vanessa's baby name options, pretending my heart wasn't fracturing. Derek, oblivious, wrapped an arm around me one night and whispered, "You're the best thing that ever happened to me." I smiled. You too. But inside, I counted down the hours. The baby shower was only a week away. They had no idea. And when the truth came out, it wouldn't be whispered behind closed doors. It would echo in a room full of witnesses. The day of the baby shower arrived bathed in sunlight and false smiles. Guests filled the rented garden venue with laughter and small talk, admiring pastel balloons, curated hors d'oeuvres, and the elegant, welcome baby sign I had hand-lettered just the night before. Every detail screamed celebration, but beneath the surface, I was a storm waiting to strike. I wore a soft blue dress and my calmest face. I moved through the crowd like the perfect host, hugging relatives, directing the caterer, topping off champagne flutes. No one suspected the devastation stitched into my smile. Vanessa arrived fashionably late, glowing in a flowing pink gown that hugged her growing belly. She kissed my cheek like nothing was wrong. "You outdid yourself, Camille," she said sweetly. "It's beautiful." I smiled. "Anything for family." She looked around, marveling at the decorations, the attention to detail. "I feel so loved." "You are," I said, steady. "More than you know." Derek hovered nearby, chatting with guests, occasionally glancing at me. There was tension in his eyes, maybe nerves, maybe guilt. Either way, he kept his distance. The afternoon unfolded like a well-rehearsed performance. Games were played. Gifts were unwrapped. Vanessa laughed. Derek posed for photos beside her like a proud brother-in-law. And I waited until it was time for the speech. I tapped my glass gently, and the chatter died down. All eyes turned to me. "Thank you all for being here today," I began, my voice warm, even. "It's a joy to celebrate new life. And it's an honor to stand here for someone I've considered not just my sister-in-law, but a true sister." Vanessa beamed. "But before we close this beautiful day," I continued, "I have one last gift. It's a little special." I reached beneath the gift table and pulled out a wrapped box, small and square. The paper was gold, the bow tied neatly. I handed it to Vanessa with both hands. Her smile faltered just slightly, but she took it. She opened it slowly. Inside was a white baby onesie. Soft cotton, minimalist font. But the message? "My daddy is my aunt's husband." The silence was instant. Gasps rippled through the crowd like a shockwave. Someone dropped a glass. Another whispered, "What did it say?" Vanessa froze. Her hands trembled as she lifted the onesie, her eyes darting toward Derek. His face had gone pale, bloodless. "Camille, what is this?" Vanessa choked, voice breaking. I stepped forward, steady. "That, Vanessa, is the truth. The one you tried to keep hidden." Derek took a step forward. "Camille, let's talk privately." I held up my hand.
No.
"You had your privacy. When you snuck behind my back. When you lied to my face. When you got my sister-in-law pregnant and planned to keep it buried under baby shower cake and fake smiles." The crowd watched, stunned and silent. A few guests backed away. One aunt shook her head in disbelief. Vanessa was crying now, full body shaking, mascara streaking her cheeks. "I found the vitamins in your car," I said, turning to Derek. "Then the hotel invoice. Then the paternity results on your laptop. You didn't just cheat, Derek. You shattered 2 families."
He didn't deny it.
He just stood there, jaw clenched, eyes wet. I turned back to the room. This shower was meant to celebrate life, and in a way it still does. Because today marks the beginning of mine, without lies, without betrayal, without either of you. With that, I walked out. Not rushed, not dramatic, just free. The afternoon sun warmed my skin as I stepped outside. Behind me, the murmurs grew louder. People would talk. They'd take sides. But I didn't care. My truth had been heard. A week later, I filed for divorce. I blocked Derek's number. I told my brother everything. Vanessa's marriage unraveled quickly after. Last I heard, she moved back in with her mother. Derek tried calling once, left a voicemail saying he missed me, that he made a mistake. But some mistakes come with permanent consequences. I didn't respond. Instead, I focused on rebuilding. Therapy, yoga, late-night phone calls with Renee. Rediscovering parts of myself I had abandoned for the sake of love that turned out to be a lie. They broke something in me, but I didn't stay broken. You see, I didn't lose a husband. I lost a liar. And I gained my peace.